Dark secrets.
Can you believe it? I was to get a new quaff from Jean Lettevic.
My eyes were not deceived. Yet so far south. You, sir, of all folk in all your fame.
Mm-hmm. Me. South in all my fame.
Oh, I've heard so much. Why, when Master Dandelion tarried in Beauclair, not a day passed without him baying out a ballad in admiration of your deeds.
Yeah, unwelcome little habit of his. But, what can I do for you?
You see, my betrothed, Francois Le Goff, vowed in my honor to bring me the head of the horrid beast they call Gretore.
Couldn't have gotten you a bouquet, some sweets in a bag?
Witcher, sir, you jest. A love most true demands proof through heroic deeds dedicated to the heart's captor. But alas, Francois has been gone a fortnight. Thus I must plead with you to see what's become of him. Could you? Would you?
This Gretore. Know anything else about it, mademoiselle? Judging by the name, guessing it lives in a cave.
Yes, from which it prowls when hungry. By night, when all are asleep, it creeps into villages. Then, of a sudden, breaks open shutters, reaches inside and snatches babes from their cradles so quickly they've not the time to yelp.
Nocturnal, long prehensile arms, intelligent.
Francois claimed he would cut the filth down in a snap. But he's been gone so long. Will you help, sir? I cannot sleep. I fear this worrying will be the death of me.
Do my damnedest to get your fiancé back safe and sound. Just, mind telling me where to look for him?
I forget you come from afar and do not know our land. They say Gretore has its lair in the caves at the foot of the Gorgon Hills.
That close to the city? Telling me no bold souls have ventured out to defeat the beast?
Quite the contrary. Plenty have, but none's returned. My concern is well founded.
I see. All right. High time I set off. Come on.
The gods have sent the beast as punishment!
Nice.
Halt, master. A beast lurks in there.
Right. Expected as much, 'cause I...
Shh! Quiet, before you wake it. Come, I've camped nearby. We shall talk there. What do they call you? What's your crest? Speak!
Name's Geralt. No crest, no motto, no plumed helmet even. I'm a witcher. Francois Legoff, I presume. Your betrothed sent me. See, you've been gone a while, so you've got her worried.
Well, indeed, for Grotore is a most fearsome beast. I must prepare properly for battle.
Takes 2 weeks, that?
I have carried it a bit, true, but the delay is done. My word I gave, thus the beast shall die.
Wouldn't happen to need any help, would you?
I don't know. After all, I did swear a solemn oath to...
Deposit the beast's head at your beloved's feet. No mention of you killing it all by yourself, though.
All in all, I suppose you're right. We must fight side by side, then. For honor! I shall be the one to lop off its head.
We gotta kill it first. Strange. No sign of Grotore.
Perhaps we should turn back? If there's no beast, there's no beast. Damn shame, but we tried.
Not so fast. Let's take a look around. Impressive. You'd think you were in a winter garden. Filled with children's shoes. Doubt I've ever seen a collection this grotesque. Something on the other side. Can't hope to get through. Matter sword or signs will cut this. Bones. Small skull. Fontanelle's not completely closed. Infant, various sundries, maybe clear as day now. Grotore must have taken them from its victims. Seems to be off somewhere, probably feeding. Need to lure it.
by my troth. The damned brute was sturdy. I'm grateful, Witcher. You aided me greatly.
Why the challenge? Couldn't have gone after something less formidable? A werebub, for instance?
Why? For the beast must match in ferocity the very ardor of my affection, and...
You're blushing, Sir Knight.
Oh, it's my betrothed. The thing is, she champs at the bit to get married when we've not known one another but 2 years. So I vowed to slay Grigori. Thought it would buy me time to battle such a beast. Why, it could take months.
Especially at the rate you were going. High time you returned to Beauclair, brave knight.
Nay, nay. The head of this beast is a trifle, wholly inadequate to express the love I harbor for my betrothed. The world awaits. To honor her, I shall cut down another, more terrible beast.
Take my advice. Grab the damned head and cut the shit.
You're blind to my predicament. Once I return, I will have no recourse. She'll drag me to the nearest shrine, one.
Shut up and listen. Crests, scrap metal armor, swooning damsels. All that's nothing to do with hunting monsters, which is work. Damn hard, dangerous, and thankless work that you're just not cut out for. Want to prove your valor? Go back to your betrothed and be honest. Tell her you're not ready to marry.
You do not mince words, Master. In Toussaint, one might demand satisfaction upon trampled ground for a lesser slight. Yet, there is truth in what you say, I cannot deny. I survived with my life by a hair. It is time I returned home.
Run, Roach. Lac Selavie. Might be worth looking into. It's an escort. Not something I do often, but might be worth investigating.
You know the colours I would see on the Duchy's banners.
Ah, the serendipity.
Nice tune.
I'm so glad you're back. Master Witcher, what luck to happen upon you?
Got work for me? New contract?
Of the contract in question, you acquitted yourself beautifully years past, on your last sojourn in Beauclair. I was in a bit of a bind at the time, do you remember? Yet I swore a solemn vow to pay you in full one day.
Guess it rings a bell.
Sadly, you went on your way before I could settle matters with you. So, I took your coin and placed it in an account for safekeeping.
What kind of account?
A savings account at Cianfanelli Bank. You need but walk in and withdraw. The sum must be rather substantial by now.
Thanks. Head over there first chance I get. Gotta stop by that bank.
Can you?
You can't say.
I was together.
Got good news, madam.
As do I. Francois has returned. We marry in a week's time. Prenuptial teachings at the temple tomorrow. Dress fitting the next morn. Then a tour of the wedding venue. I have never been so happy.
Not sure these nuptials are a great idea.
What? I beg your pardon?
Young Master Legoff. Well, he wasn't exactly raring to get hitched. Seems to me you two should be...
Well, I never. The nerve! Not another word. Take your coin. Leave us be.
The jaw-dropping Mancomb awaits a challenger. His tongue as devastating as his fists. His ripples will grown men to tears. Who dares? Who dares?
Life in Beauclair can be quite dear. Death, though, that's always free.
inscriptions in Elder speech. Salvation lies not in Dol Nevde, but in our hearts. Glory be to Eldarin. Damn. Professor's journal's long gone. Guess somebody else found out about it too. Should look around, see if I can find something else. Footprints. Narrow and shallow. Somebody small, light. Woman, maybe? Wonder where they lead. Damn it. Trail breaks off. Wonder if the grave robber learned more than I did. Professor certainly can't do much to help me with my search. Won't learn anything else here. Map Yensen will have to do. Also, Epitaph mentioned both Eldarin and Dol Nevde, Valley of the Nine. Site marked on the map's all wet now. Sans Retour flows through there. Must be where the Valley of the Nine once lay. Need to explore the location.
Keep calm! Start no pros!
Whose notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do...
What's this about?
The notice, is that it? Are you a witcher, master?
Noises at the cemetery. You the one they bother?
Yes, and I'm alone in that, it seems. That is, no one else has bothered to take any steps, though all must hear the racket. I took the matter up with the Ducal Guard. They claim they found nothing, but I'm not sure they even bothered to look. What's left for me to do? Should I sniff about the cemetery myself?
The noises, they pretty regular?
Each night. I live next door. I hear it loud and clear, as if through a horn someone had stuck in my ear. Ah! Hawk! Ooh! Firk! And then whack! Thud! As if a mother bear slammed pate first into a cupboard.
Know exactly what you mean. How much'll I get for this?
How much would you like? What? Much too much. Agreed.
Fine, I'll tend to it. Any victims? Someone go missing recently? Or are we just talking noises?
No one's come to harm, thank the gods. Why? Do you think it might be a monster?
Could be, but doesn't need to, though. Might also be grave robbers, tramps. Remains to be seen.
I can't rightly say what would be worse. Whatever the case, Godspeed, Master.
Copper, that is all I ask.
Can't hear anything, but might want to look around anyway. Empty wine bottles. Leftovers. Big to do? Not likely. Graves dug up. Thing is, grave robbers don't usually wail and moan that much. grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though. Lots of tracks. Not much I can glean from them, though.
The ruckus is terrifying.
Gotta come back after dark. Damn it. More fighting. Noises coming from the catacombs, it seems. So, noises coming from here. Shut up and fight. Might be noisy. I doubt they're the source of the sounds in question. Not a soul. Strange. Doesn't look anything like a grave hack's lair either. Gold. Can't be grave robbers. None worth their salt would have left this. Louis de Corentin. Died on the day of Saint Zoethan's remembrance. Noises started right around then. Pretty fresh. Funeral wasn't too long ago. Smashed, as if someone threw it against the wall. Here lies Margot de Corentin. No sign of monsters or grave robbers. Bit of a mess, that's all. Maybe this isn't the spot after all. Strange. Noise is clearly coming from that tomb. Impossible. Something's not right. Need to hide, see how things play out.
You'd rather lie about all day, flipping those cards like some dwarf! Disgusting!
Indeed. Far better to stand at the door of Lebioda's temple, mumbling prayers from dawn till dusk.
Ingrid, I prayed for you, that you would cast off the yoke of gambling.
Fine job you did of it. Seems the gods had also heard enough of your cackling. And you? Why are you here? This is a private conversation.
What's this argument about, anyway?
Sod off! Not your concern.
Could help you resolve it.
I know not your name, but you must help me. I refuse to spend eternity at the side of this heathen. Remove him from my crypt at once!
Slow down. What's the problem?
This is my crypt, and this saintly shrew harangues me even in death. An eternity of nagging for misery.
I was blind and a fool to marry him. He's a slave to the cards, prepared to wager his own child on a round of Gwent.
Once, damn it, and as a jest. How many times must I explain? And who sank our fortune into some silly statue of Lebioda?
Piety. That was my cause. The prophet immortalized would have transformed this land of blasphemy and betting. How was I to know it was all a fraud?
Because I warned you some 500 times!
Quiet! Shut up, both of you! Who does the crypt belong to, rightfully?
Must you ask? It's mine. My family's. The de Corentins. Are you illiterate?
True. But my dowry served to repurchase it from those you owed.
Look, if there's to be peace and quiet here, one of you's gotta go. Need to move one of you out.
Yes. Take him. Please. Do so. And I shall tell you where I hid his lucky Gwent cards.
What? I knew it was you! And now, you would evict me from my crypt, then pay for the deed with my cards! Blast it all! Had I those very cards at the tournament in Belhaven, I'd still be alive! It's your fault, you pox incarnate, that they stabbed me to death!
They murdered you for your debts! I had nothing to do with it!
Come, I heed this good book-thumping wench. Mind, I know well where she hid those cards. I'll tell you myself, as soon as you've removed her.
Need to think about it.
Alright, gotta move one of them out.
Thus spake the prophet Lebioda. Thou shalt not play for coin.
After which he promptly added, for you shall have none left for me!
Heretic, shut your mouth! I shall speak to you no more!
No, no, it is I who shall speak to you no more, you old tart! I see you fell for that pious tart's drivel. Drats! Ah, well, then listen. I've a request. Be a good fellow and set me in the chamber of the Gwent Friendship Society of Beauclair. It's just round the corner.
You a member?
That's just it. I was not. But I would have dearly liked to have been. And joining them in death shouldn't bother anyone.
Certainly doesn't bother me. I'll do it. Where's this chamber?
Once you enter the catacombs, go straight. The chamber will be on your right, near the corridor's mouth, and I thank you.
Deeper in the catacombs. Right, let's go. Private chamber.
Right Honorable members of the Gwent Friendship Society of Beauclair. This is it.
You'll not find work here. Not paying work, that is.
You gents also looking for that Gwent club?
What the poking devils? Who are you? Who sent you?
So many questions, so few answers.
Blimey, we're the plowing philosopher. Get the smarmy cat diddler, lads!
If I only had a crown for every time a bunch like this. Let's dance. That ought to do. Right. High time Margot paid up. Done. Now where you got those cards?
Leave the city through the Cooper's Gate, then veer right. Our house is easily recognized. A tree adorns the sign above the door. I buried the chest in the garden, beneath the rose bush.
Tree on a sign, rose bush. Think I got it.
Might I ask what you did with Louis? True, he knew nothing in life but Gwent, but I would still prefer he not spend eternity in a ditch or a privy.
Don't worry about it. Found him a nice place. Ought to feel right at home. Farewell.
Scrawny, grey-haired, ill-favoured.
Oh! What a mincemeat! Best cure for the beast, a witcher.
Disperse! The exhibition of the red... Please disperse! The exhibition is closed!
What's this about?
Oh, Lapiota, give me strength. I can't bear this, please! I believe I've been clear. No presentation today. Oh, wait! Are you not that famous witcher, Geralt of Rivia? I believe I have work for you.
Saw your notice. Mentioned a monument.
The matter is a delicate one, but mind you, I pay well. Alas, I can say no more at this stage. Interested?
The statue. Just tell me what's the problem.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. More, I dare say. Come with me. I'll show you. Here it is! Our pride and joy, Reginald Dalbury. A giant among lovers. A poking, puncturing swordsman, and atop all that, an unrifled tiddler of harps and other organs.
So what's wrong with it?
How should I put this? It's lost its jewels.
Somebody stole the testicles off a statue.
No ordinary statue, mind you. The sole monument made using a cast of the great Reginald's own genitals, certified and authenticated. Sprung directly from his loins, they grant all who stroke them unparalleled virility. All who buy a ticket, that is. Thus, you must retrieve those stones.
Got my attention. Now tell me about this Reginald, all you know.
There's so much to tell. Legend has it he and the architect Pharamond planned and laid out Beauclair.
Impressed already.
In particular, Reginald took great pains to devise escape routes for lovers caught with their pants down. Literally and metaphorically. He later made frequent use of them himself. Not out of fear, mind you, but to avoid having to kill his rivals in duels.
Got any suspects?
Considering the vast potency of Reginald's prized pouch, everyone's a suspect. Who would not want it for himself?
Any idea when the theft took place?
It must have been mere hours ago. I guided the last group through the exposition quite recently. Stones were very much in place.
Need to look around. Might find a clue or two.
Do what you must, as long as you return grasping Reginald's stones. Without them, Beauclair's entire tourist sector faces trying times. Trying times. It will all work out. It must.
Saw marks are straight and clean. Precision castration, I'd call this. Dried bloodstain.
Don't worry, Reginald, don't worry. You shall be whole again soon.
Coat fabric caught on the nail. Evian cologne. Smell it'll lead me to the thief. Diamond saw blade. Perpetrator's tool.
It will all work.
Don't dare to think you've got carte blanche here.
Scent leads to this door. Oop. Sorry to interrupt, I guess.
This is not what it seems. Word of honor. I tripped, rolled, tumbled, and landed where she already lay.
Psst! Hughes! That's not him!
I swear, this is all an unfortunate coincidence. A series thereof. What?
That's not my husband!
You mean, not your husband? Who are you? And why are you in my home? Out! Now! Or I'll summon the guards!
Watch your tone, Gramps. Just here to talk.
I believe we have nothing to talk about.
Oh, we do. Just to kick things off, you're in great form for a man your age.
I eat well, start the day with a glass of wine. That preserves a body wonderfully.
Interesting. Might try it. Say, ever heard of Reginald Dobry, his statue?
Everyone in the city's heard of it. Reginald's a paragon, a national hero.
That's so. You seem well informed, Hughes. Maybe you know who stole Reginald's testicles.
I can explain everything. This...
Rosalinda! I know you're in there! You and that fancy pants of yours!
Oh no, not him too. This really is not my day.
Got you, you rogue! Prepare for a shellacking, scallop! What the laugh's this? Rosalinda! One I could forgive you, but two at one time!
Wait, got nothing to do with this.
Take me for a fool? I'll teach you to fish in another man's pond!
Got no time for this. Go home.
Yes. That'll be best. I'm done here.
I don't know you, but that would have gone horribly for me had you not intervened. I thank you for saving my skin.
So, time to talk.
Rosalinda, my dove, please allow us a moment. All right. I admit I stole the stones. And you will never believe it, but they work. Today, Rosalinda and I were 3 times and counting.
3 times? Impressive.
Isn't it? At my age. That's more than the entire last decade.
All the same, you stole those stones and you gotta return them.
Listen, perhaps we might strike a deal. Hmm? Let me keep the stones. I'll pay you. Grant me this, I beg you. They've made me young again.
Perhaps I could lend them to you. For 1 more day. What would you say to that?
A day is 3 more romps at the least. You've a deal, sir.
You can't pull one over on me, Witcher. I can see you're a killer.
God damn it! Watch where you step!
Our little Annie has a cavernous granny with room for an army and 2 more up her fanny.
Am I invisible?
Nothing?
The best steel in all of Tucson. Take a gander.
Show me what you have. Farewell.
No! See you later!
You need new bridges? Oh.
So long.
Patrolling on an empty stomach.
Spores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
portal. Wonder what surprises this place has in store. Spikes. Sick sense of humor someone's got. Blood-soaked. Grave robber was wounded while attempting the climb. Needed to bandage up. Managed to avoid the Panthers at least. Not bad. Wouldn't mind having something like that myself.
course. Locked. Notes I found mention 4 protruding stones. Gotta press them somehow. Crossbow, maybe? Could try to hit them. Not bad. Wouldn't mind having something like that myself.
Did it.
Interesting as places go. Seems someone put a lot of thought into its design. Should look around.
You are not welcome.
Yeah, figured as much. Great. Portals. This just keeps getting better. Damn it, back where I started. Damn it, back where I started. Could be some clue around here. Must be where Moreau had his lab. Crystals. Should mount them in the megascope. Missing 2 crystals. Just need to pick an entry.
The 18th of Yule, year 1102. Today I begin my great life's endeavor, one greater and more significant than any I have thus far undertaken, for it relates to me personally, to myself and my son. When 15 years passed, a beast of the forest assaulted me. A witcher came to my aid, saved my life. I could not know that for said salvation, I would in the end pay by relinquishing any say as to my own son's fate. Had I the skill to turn back time, I would have done so, and perished rather than surrender to the Witchers my only son. But as it was, on the day when Jerome was taken, I swore an oath on my honor that I would recover my son. Today, following years of research and preparation, I have at last devised a device that allows me to study mutations. If the gods in their goodness grant me but a bit of favor, I shall find a way to reverse said mutations and restore Jerome to a normal life.
So, Professor wasn't out to enhance Witcher mutations, wanted to reverse them. Wonder if he managed, and if there's anything in it for me. Crystal for this entry's missing. Might be somewhere. Should look around.
Observation number 30. The mutations do not set in at once. Curiously, they do not develop over a span of time. Rather, for a mutation to progress towards completion, the appropriate mutagen must be applied continuously. The subject does not bear this well, but I found a way to make the mutations less taxing, invasive. To the mutagen base, I add the albumin of a mutated giant centipede egg. Stored in a glass terrarium, the eggs do not develop, remain small. The eggs themselves are a sight to behold. Mutated, they are luminescent, emitting a wondrous glow. I can only hope my addition of the albumin will produce no significant side effects. Time will tell. Years of experiments, research, sacrifice, all for naught. I have failed to achieve my defined objective. Each mutation I applied to my subjects proved ineffective when applied to Jerome. What I meant to cure him of his witcherism, that which I meant to restore to him a normal life, only deepened his mutations, further augmented his speed and strength, rendered him yet more inhuman. It seems my son must remain a witcher forever. I have failed. The time has come to abandon this place. Return home to Lydia. She may yet deign to take me back. The contraption and mutagens I leave here, let them wither and crumble, as did my dreams of regaining my son.
So the Professor wanted to reverse the mutation's effects. Ended up deepening them. Stroke of luck for me. could profit from his failure. So, Professor tried to neutralize the effects of Witcher mutations, only managed to enhance them though. Used the albumins of giant centipede eggs as his mutagen base. Need to go on an egg hunt. Guessing this man didn't come here willingly. Crystal must go here. All crystals in place. Show me what you got. Just need to pick an entry.
Observation 22. Despite applying a surfeit of toxic substances, significantly more than usual, the subject displayed no symptoms of overdosing. I believe this to be an effect of the mutations. Thus, a minor success. This mutation should allow Jerome better to tolerate toxicity. Observation 58. Sometimes failure is the catalyst for success. I've discovered a method by which one type of mutagen may be transmuted into another through the addition of certain ingredients. This is a great day for science. In addition, I observed that today's dose of mutagens brought the subject to the brink of death. He then suddenly awoke, revived, his strength renewed. Not wholly, of course, but he did in a sense come back from the edge of death. Whether this is attributable to his mutations or to pure coincidence cannot be ascertained. I must conduct further experiments.
Seen enough. Quite the library. Mostly tomes on mutations and genetics. Mom's awake and she's not awake. preserved organs. Hope their donors weren't forced to give them up. Intriguing as Professor's mutagens might have always started out on his son. Well, time to find out. Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Kicking more. Plenty around here. Kicking more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. Some stench. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise magroscope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the rings seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Detlav's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
Is your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask you directly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Got a new life, a new body. That'd give you a new start, blank slate.
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Dettlaff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cirilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back. Defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. Gotta ask you the big question. What everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Alright, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the whites survived, entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.